Greetings and salutations. Welcome once again to At the Table, where we're going to get crunchy with some numbers and lore. But before we start, Ian, introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Ian. I play Woodwort, the gnome druid on Edge of Legend. And if you're ever looking to find me, I go by @BeardedScald on our Discord as well as Twitter and Instagram.
Awesome. And as always, I'm Michael Powell, and you can find me all over the internet on my social media, which is at Mr. Kapow. That's MrKapao. But enough about that. Let's get to it. We're going to be making
Let's
something awesome.
go.
Before our little thing here, we talked about what we should make. And because our previous video here, we were talking about alignments a lot. And actually, we actually got into the alignments of not just characters, but organizations as a whole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Like MI6 and what is it? MI6 and some other stuff. I
Yeah, I would bring up the Court of Owls is not
Mhm.
something we talked about, but I definitely think that it's something that definitely has an alignment.
Yeah, so let's make an organization based on the whole alignment stuff.
Yeah, as much as I do like what Reap Psyche had to say, is they were wondering if we were going to try to make a new alignment. Um, I definitely would love to do that, but at some point we're going to have a discussion of morality that would take an
Uh,
entire episode.
I mean, if I had to make one, it would be either lawful or chaotic hungry.
Oh, I like that. I
Yeah,
like that. We'll just add that one off to the side. I feel like the goblins will end up taking that alignment a lot.
yeah. But anyway, let's make our organization, and we want
Yeah.
you in chat to help us along. So what
So
kind of? Oh, go ahead.
no, when looking over the stat block, it's really funny. The first thing that gets brought up in Pathfinder is the alignment.
Hmm.
And then they say to look over everything else. Now, um, I'm not entirely sure if we want to start there or if we want to end there. I think that it could just evolve throughout our organization as we build it.
What if
So if
we
anybody's got
what
any
if we
ideas,
what if we kind of at least dip our toes in it? How about at least the intent of the organization? Is it a good
okay,
intent or is it
yeah, yeah,
a
yeah.
evil intent?
Well,
And then we'll
yeah,
get to whether it's lawful, neutral, or chaotic.
so anybody in chat ends up throwing it out there. If you guys have any ideas for which direction this thing should go, throw them in there. Uh, so what I'm really hoping is that no one picks true neutral. And the only
Mm.
reason for that is because the organization wouldn't do anything.
Don't jinx
Um,
us. Don't jinx us, Ian.
I know. Or it would be the easiest thing to implement that is a worldwide organization that PJ would never have to do anything with. Um, is
Oh my god, it could be like an organization where it's an ineffective bureaucracy. It's just one guy behind a desk in some room without any
yeah,
windows or anything.
absolutely. Or it's just the Watchers from Marvel. They
Yeah.
just the Yep, that's happening. The way they are intended to work is just to look over things and go,
Hmm.
okay.
Well, let's talk about some of the unique organizations we already do have in Edge of Legend. One of them is the Order of the Compass Rose.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
that's that organization in Edge of Legends is they're kind of like the Pathfinder Society in the Pathfinder game.
Yeah, and I don't know what alignment I would give them specifically because they threw a bunch of people in Daltonshire, and I don't think that's right.
I think if anything, they're more neutral good. I feel neutral good is kind of tenets of the Order of the Compass Rose.
Yeah, I think
Exploration.
if with everything that happened in Daltonshire, I do think that they should be neutral good at best.
Oh, and Oh, PJ says in chat, we also have the Revengers, basically, which is an awesome organization. Maybe make an organization that is chaotic neutral. Not sure how you would make that organization, but
Um, actually, that's kind of fun.
all right.
Um,
You know what? Let's make.
I
Well, because PJ is on the other side of things, he's part of the audience. So
He's technically part of chat.
yeah,
Yeah, you are right.
and
Which
that's
means I
the
should
best
definitely
kind of
start.
right. Lawful
Yes.
neutral.
Uh, so if we run off of the chaotic neutral aspect of things, I do think. Okay, I've got an immediate idea, but it would literally strip everyone else of their say in this. But
All
I'll
right.
write down chaotic neutral to start with
All right. We're
and
starting off
see
with
how.
chaotic neutral. What's our next little thing we have to do?
The next portion of the stat block is size.
Size. Yeah.
There is small, medium, large, huge, and gargantuan. To say small is 100 members or fewer, and the gargantuan is 10,000 or more.
Do we want a world-spanning chaotic neutral organization, or is it more of a small, social club of chaotic neutrals?
Yeah, let's see what chat has to throw in there.
Yeah.
And we can't have PJ making all the rules here because I
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
want to. He gets to create things all the time
Yeah. It's our
and put
turn.
them in the Edge of Legend game.
It's our turn. And if chat doesn't pick, you know what? You and me, we're here. We'll
Yeah,
decide.
totally.
So, what do you think personally about organizations when it comes to size, when it comes to TTRPGs?
So here's the thing. I think worldwide organizations are awesome. I also I can see the benefits of every single size. I personally think if we are chaotic neutral, we probably shouldn't go over large just because the people who would be drawn to this organization would leave it just as often as they would join.
Yeah. We got Reap Psyche saying the chaotic neutral FDA.
FDA, great. They're uh I like the chaos that they will bring into everyone else's life as long as it doesn't affect the harmony of the world. What are we going with here?
Oh man, I just thought about this.
Sliding test medication.
Because now I'm like before I said that lawful neutral bureaucracy. Now I'm thinking, what if it's a chaotic neutral bureaucracy that people just come and go?
Yeah, it is chaotic neutral.
Oh, libertarians.
Chaotic neutral bureaucracy could probably be just generally referred to as bureaucracy because whenever single time you get something done, they say you missed a stamp that you've never heard of. That kind of thing. Reaped, I do like this. Sliding test medications into the general populace is the chaotic neutral FDA.
Oh
You
man,
said you
now I'm
needed a
thinking
larger
like a
testing
group of mad scientists.
Yeah. Um, that's actually kind of
Real,
where I was going
yeah.
with my original idea.
Emphasis on the mad.
So I personally think it should be a medium group
Mm-hmm.
if I had to throw it in there.
All right.
And that's 100 to 1,000 members.
So like
how
a
about
cabal.
what do you feel?
Like a cabal.
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely it could definitely be seen as also the size of what could be a small country's government. 1,000 people working as heads of government pieces.
Honestly, what's the numbers for tiny again?
Small is 100 or fewer.
100 or fewer? There's no tiny? I thought there was a tiny.
I don't have a tiny on here.
Okay. Then actually, you know what? I would agree, especially since you described it as, honestly, yeah, chaotic neutral group. The members would be going and leaving all the time. There would be no,
So
set number.
For small or medium?
Small.
Okay.
I would go
I like small as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, PJ likes that idea. A small group of mad scientists.
So this was actually one of the things that I thought of. Chaotic neutral is evolution.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't care what it's going to saddle things with. It's going to just see if it works. And that's when I started looking at this organization of,
Uh-huh.
is throwing it out there and going, hey, there is too much control in this one portion of the world. This government has a complete grasp on their people or whatsoever. We're going to go ahead and throw in this coup. We don't know what's going to become of it. But at the end of the day, it will benefit some sort of change. And change is all they care about.
Oh, so you're saying like they're a group of anarchists.
To a certain extent, yeah, I would say anarchists, but it is more. I don't. Anarchy doesn't want anything to rule, and I feel that if they would
Because
be
that's
a
kind
people
of what
who
you're,
doesn't
at
care
least in
who
my mind,
rules,
that's kind of what you're describing a little bit.
yeah, I would
Because
definitely put it as
I'm
oh,
more thinking, because we're going with that trope, mad scientists. I'm thinking more kind of like, if we're going to the Marvel universe, kind of like AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics.
I am not familiar with AIM.
AIM is basically a group of mad scientists who are basically trying to push their own agenda.
So I definitely think of Magic the Gathering
Hmm.
because there is a group of individuals, and I used to run a Magic deck based off of them that were the green blue cards. And the green blue cards were basically just combining different sorts of animals from across nature to figure out what would be the next evolution.
I think I know which group you're talking about, but that's
I
also
can't remember what
when
they're
around
called.
the time I stopped playing Magic the
Yeah, yeah,
Gathering.
totally. But after size, well, scope and influence, I guess we can't figure out what their goals. So I think personally the goals is when something has become stagnant,
Hmm.
they will put in some sort of catalyst
Mm.
to make sure that that stagnant thing doesn't take place. Whether it's an organization, whether it is say you have a society, like a fringe society of gnomes or something that haven't developed anything past, a certain level of like stoneware. And so
I
they
just,
just
oh
introduced
man, now I'm just now picturing anarchist gnomes, a group
oh,
of anarchist gnomes.
Reap Psyche has it, the Simic hybrids. You are correct.
Mm.
So the Simic hybrids is who I'm thinking of. So these
Hmm.
gnomes haven't developed anything over stoneware, so
Hmm.
they just introduce metal to them and figure out, you know what, take it where you will.
So the reverse of the Prime Directive from Star Trek.
Yeah, yeah, it is upsetting the status quo, but the chaos in it is not caring what the outcome of the
Okay, okay,
upsetting nature is. I
okay.
almost want to call them the catalysts, but
Mm.
that's my this is this is me now riffing off of
Yeah,
myself.
because what I've been also thinking is also this group also basically they're chaotic to an extent where they're doing this also to kind of their own for their own personal research, kind of an anthropologist group maybe, kind of like testing out the theories of anthropology.
Yeah, I definitely they view the world as their testing grounds.
Yeah.
If they are to throw this thing out there, they will figure out whatever the outcome is, and they will chart all the factors and say, well, if you introduce this, this, and this, and this, and this, by our calculations, this will occur.
My only worry about this, honestly, is the world as a whole. I feel is kind of a finite place. Like this organization would do great as a sci-fi group, when it comes to like a space group where
So,
it goes to different planets and different societies to introduce stuff. But when you go with there's a finite group of people in the world that you can kind of do this experiment with because civilization and all that.
so, and I don't think it is because
Mm.
I think they could be anywhere on the scale of upsetting an entire government to also handing the poorest people in a region just mountains of gold
Mm.
and seeing what happens. Will they topple the government? Will they make their own government? Will they move away? It is just taking things that have been too stagnant and revitalizing them
Yeah.
with a source of
Yeah.
change.
Once again, like I said, I keep going back to now they're anarchist scientists.
Yeah, I can't.
The epitome of rogue scientists.
Rogue, yes, I can't agree with anarchist. because I don't think anarchy is there to upset and destroy something for it to never return. And these guys don't care if it does come back. It just means that it's the next. It is the state that it will be. They are trying to find the common denominator, basically. The pinnacle, not common, the prime number. Sorry, the prime number.
I will also say this. I know we said small. Small is 100 or 100 or lower, but definitely they would not. This would not be 100 full member group. I feel.
No, I think it's one of those things that's scary because they can inflict a great amount of change with just a few people.
Yeah, I feel this would be like maybe the group as a whole at any time, maybe at most 20 members.
So what do we want to put down as their goal? What does everyone think their goal is in existing in the world? And it is. I personally, I feel like the revitalizing a stagnant portion of the planet is enough. But
Reap Psyche. Oh, Reap Psyche has a pretty good idea. There's a group from a series of SCP stories called the Anartists, and they're a group that makes art that causes reality anomalies.
See, that's kind of cool. I do really like that, Reap Psyche. That's.
Can we put a scientific kind of bent on this idea, maybe?
I think the introduction of any foreign factor into a stabilized society or whatever it is definitely an experiment of some sort. So I'm wondering if we can. Is their goal to push the pinnacle of society? Is their goal to figure out what the outcome?
Oh man, I just thought of this. Like, oh man, it's a group of people. I'm going to comic books. I know you don't read too much comic books, but
Yeah.
I'm going to throw some examples of characters. Just tell me if you're at least familiar with any of them.
Okay.
The Beyonder.
I don't know that.
Mr. Mixapicalix. The little
Definitely
imp
not.
from Superman.
I know that he exists.
Okay. Okay. I think that's the best example I have there with you.
Yeah.
It's a little imp from a higher dimension that comes down to just mess with Superman.
Does it?
And his power is he can warp reality.
Did I see him? Does he
He's
do
been in
crossovers in
cartoons.
the Batman?
He's been on. No, there's a Batman he's been on Batman, and Batman also has a Batman version called Batmite.
Okay. I know Batmite.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I can see this as a group of scientists. Like instead of artists to make art for the sake of art, they're scientists who are experimenting for the sake of curiosity.
Yeah, I think I'm going to run with that because I think you and Reap Psyche said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Evolution is pushed forward by adversity. Causing adversity induces progress.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be...
Yeah, he's basically Q, but a gnome. That's what a Mr. Mixapilic is.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, Q. That's another example.
Q is a great... Yeah, Q, I would definitely...
Yeah.
Q is actually a great example. Let's say advancing society through...
Curiosity?
Well, it would be through adversity. I guess, advancing society through adversity.
I just realized we're creating a Q group.
Yeah, we are.
Creating the Q Continuum on Edge of Legend.
Yeah, advancing society through adversity, where
I also kind of like the idea of if they're all gnomes. So we got all these Q gnomes like wandering around, just causing chaos for the sake of chaos.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, Reap Psyche, we're creating Umbrella Corp.
Yeah, that's a little bit of it, aren't we? Yeah, we kind of are. Except
We're
the
creating
fantasy
a
version.
nicer Umbrella Corp.
We're yeah. I mean, yeah. Actually, yeah. Umbrella Corp does do a lot of things that I feel doesn't give them the chaotic neutral scale.
Yeah, they're more on the, I would say, neutral evil
Evil
scale.
scale. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
they're definitely evil to us. Like honestly, yeah, they're pretty evil.
Yeah. I think yes. PJ, I think you're on it there. Progressing society through conflict. It's not just society though. I feel like it is anything that needs change because it's been that way for too long,
Mm-hmm.
which is scary. um, you may have had things all figured out, but we are chaos incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see the next thing that we can throw up onto their stat block is. Um, wow, that's a lot of stuff that you need to get into. I guess scope and influence. Are they? We can actually kind of tie this into the world to give PJ a better group, and then I think or a better glance on where they are in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys think they should sit? Should they sit inside of Maythune? Should they sit in Should they be a secret society inside of Adelphon Prime? Do they look at Adelphon as a whole? Are they part of a town that we or a country we've only heard of but we haven't actually visited, like Gots?
I
Or are they tied to a society like the elves, the gnomes, the
mhm.
dwarves? What do you want to do with that?
Me personally, also Chat can decide on their own, but me personally, I'm liking that I'm that visual, a visual of a bunch of Q gnomes wandering around.
I I like the visual of gnomes, but I feel like gnomes already play up to their chaotic nature due to their fey stuff.
But what if these are like that to the upteenth degree?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a possibility. I think, yeah, it's
Like to the extreme. Like with your sliding scale, we have gnomes in the middle, and then we have the extreme of the Fey gnomes. Oh, I just thought of something. They do that because they're kind of trying to create Fey, like the Feywild on the maybe the material plane. Maybe that's one of their objectives. Maybe.
oh, that's kind of an interesting thing. That brings it into the gnomes pretty
What do
solid.
you think
So
about that?
chaos is usually seen as something that is shunned by society, but
Mm-hmm.
they embrace it because embracing chaos means that you always have the chance to change.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
What do you
I
think?
think I think I could go with that.
Does that jive with you?
Yeah. I think that you're definitely talking my language now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so
But yeah, I think that ties in with gnome society. That's they're extremists in gnome society.
gnome society
Extremist.
extremists. Uh, I'm going to put down embracing chaos.
Actually, can you add also to that embracing chaos and the Feywild? Because that's kind of
Okay.
the what chaos would be for gnomes. I feel the Feywild.
Yeah. And the Fey Wild.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Cool.
What's next?
So I was going down. We picked the alignment. We talked about their goals. Uh,
Like, would you agree? Like, this would definitely be like a 20 or lesser uh person group with members just like kind of drifting in and out due to
yeah,
maybe
definitely.
an
No.
experiment killing one of them. They would just recruit
Yeah.
someone else.
I think it's also the fact that embracing chaos and trying to make it inside of an organization is the hard part of keeping members in.
Yeah.
It's like it's the same paradox that anarchists have.
Hmm.
Is anarchists would have to all get on the same page and understand how to take something down to be able to take it down,
Hmm.
and that is often their first sign of downfall. Um, So
So this
I
wouldn't be like a
definitely agree with the
hundred
small
person
group.
group.
No. I think this is like at its height, 50 people, only because they're able to get a few people onto their agenda when they're going to go do something. But standing members, maybe 20.
Yeah, I was at 20. I would say the other
Yeah,
30 or so would be like
yeah,
junior members or their henchmen or people who
yeah,
work for them. Like they
totally.
wouldn't be full members.
So one of the other things to look at apparently on their organization, what we need to go through. Um, I like uh, what acts are against the organization's belief. What is their anathema?
It would
So
definitely
just
have to
like
be law, something
yeah,
law.
so just like druids can't wear metal, their anathema would be, I guess it could be law.
Maybe
Yeah,
not
you
metal.
would not.
Maybe well, if
Well, no,
they're embracing their
I'm bringing that up as an example
oh,
of
okay.
druids.
Because I was gonna
Their
say
anathema
if
is
they're
they can't wear
from
metal.
the Feywild, they can still do metal and everything. Maybe not cold metal.
So I think that'll be more of a weakness than an
Hmm.
anathema.
Okay.
I think you were on it right at the beginning with the law. Uh, I think maybe they're here. Let me write down anathema really quick. Um, Acts against the organization's belief. I guess it would be. That's the hard part about
Yeah.
chaos. Um,
Because they're so fluid and the rules change all the time.
Wait, are we just making are we just making a perverse gnomic improv group
Oh
where they
God, we
just you're
are.
not allowed to say no? You know what I mean? Like you're not. It's like, hey, we're gonna go change this, and it's you always say yes, but yes, but is your best
I
is
kind of want to say maybe like this would we get more into the society itself. It has to get well. Maybe one of the reasons why the full membership is so small is there's a lot of internal conflict in the group. Like they need to
yeah
have
yeah
at least a majority rules. Thing is, they can
okay.
never agree together with on each other because each of them has their own agenda as themselves personally.
We can definitely set that up as one of their tenets. I think tenets is something that that
Yeah,
we were going to go over. Yeah, okay, we'll set that up as one of their tenets.
yeah. There has to be majority rules on what they want to do. That's one of the reasons why they have not. Because, like I said, this sounds like very lofty goals and what they could do, but it also hamstring them as an organization that they can't achieve their goals is because, as a whole, they can never agree with each other.
Yeah, totally. No, I definitely agree with that. So
Like the
I
whole
put that down
bureaucracy
as one of
thing, you
their
know?
tenets. I think for anathema, I think maybe one of the things we can do is that if
Oh, we got
you
Reap Psyche saying yes and forever.
forever, yes, exactly, that kind of way of saying they're I would put it as saying no to their progress. So
Mhm.
going
Or
over the
maybe
fact
they
that
keep saying yes to so many things that the plan just gets so convoluted that they can't really realistically, like,
oh yeah, no, that's definitely
do what they want to do in the original place.
yeah, I think this is specifically speaking though that the acts against the organization's beliefs. So performing them can lead to a member being dismissed from the organization
Hmm. And that's
or
why it's
subjects of
like they have a
various
lone
forms
member
of
because
punishment.
they keep getting dismissed.
Yeah, and so we're trying to figure out what would make you get dismissed
Oh man,
from
we're
this group.
creating we're creating
So
bureaucracy.
I
At
think
its worse.
I think it could be
Like bureaucracy in the movie Brazil.
denying denying progress.
Mhm. Oh, I like what Psyche just posted. It
Yeah.
takes them 75 years to get anything done because it progressively gets more and more complicated. Medium hyper bureaucracy.
Uh,
Honestly, I think PJ will actually get a. He's either gonna be great for PJ to run, or it's gonna be so horrible for PJ to run. One of the extremes.
so I put down as their anathema is denying progress no matter what form it comes in.
Mm-hmm.
So it is one of the things of if someone is able to say the best change we have is to destroy this building, and somebody's like, I really like that building. They're like, no, that doesn't matter. Your personal feelings aside, that's the neutral part of it. This building has to be destroyed
Mm-hmm.
to make way for bigger and better things.
And I also view that they're like, okay, we need to take down this building. Okay, we're gonna take down this building. How are we gonna do it? And then the how becomes so it gets added so and so complicated
Totally.
that the original idea of just getting rid of the building just gets buried.
Yeah. No, I'm with you 110% on that. So I think that's about it for stuff that isn't basically writing it into the campaign wherever PJ wants to put
Mm-hmm.
it.
What are
'Cause
we
then it gets
naming
into
it?
some of
If
the
anything, we need to give a
yeah,
name.
yeah, we definitely need to come up with a name. So let's come up with a name.
I like the word continuum in there somewhere.
Uh, I would love to give them the name the Delta Continuum. And the only reason for that is, but it also involves the Greek alphabet, is
Mm-hmm.
the Greek alphabet and the symbol for change, which is a triangle,
Mm-hmm.
is the letter delta.
Mm.
So the Delta Continuum would be the change that is forever.
What if we kind of put a spin on that and put the tri continuum? Also, the word because like TRI, but it also sounds like the word try.
Yeah, if you want to, maybe they have we can run with that.
Also, in chat, if you have a better idea, please let us know. Because now I'm also thinking, kind of going in depth into this organization. What if this organization not only is it majority rules, they're also kind of put into they act in 3-member teams, like a triangle.
So
It's
in
their
those three
cells. It's their
members,
cells.
yeah, yeah,
Three
yeah.
member cells.
So there's always a majority
Yeah.
would be it.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that because there is always a majority, which is a fascinating thing
But
to
thing
have.
is, it's one member. Like for some reason, it's a action reaction. If one member gets one of their things kind of a majority, then another one will be like nah, and then kind of switch it, and that becomes a kind of a just shifting,
Yeah, that goes into
ineffectual
the
bureaucracy.
consistent. Yeah,
Oh, the symbol. We need to do a symbol.
everything they do is in multiples of three.
Yeah. What if the
Um,
symbol is literally it's kind of like the recycle symbol, but it's a triangle that with it's an arrow that kind of goes into a triangle. Like that
yeah,
point's
okay,
there, one point's up, one point's
I can do
down.
that.
So, oh man, this group is just oh god, this is a chaos incarnate group.
So
We have PJ says I like the Delta Continuum. It sounds kind of scientific but kind of epic. Try is funny, but it doesn't hit right.
well, the cool thing is that no matter which one is picked, the symbol that you just came up with works
Hmm.
because it's also the triangle, which
Hmm.
is the change inside of the Greek alphabet.
What's that horrible triangle that's an optical illusion and not meant to work? Like it's impossible.
GTS.
No idea. But is there anything else we should kind of get into?
Um, 1 second. The Penrose triangle is the impossible triangle. Um, yeah, that's the Penrose triangle is what it's called.
So you want to do that as a symbol? My only thing about that is that copyrighted?
Penrose stairs. There's also oh, there's a bunch. Wow. Okay, so it depends on which. There's apparently a lot of optical illusions that run off with the the triangle theme. But I think what he's talking about is the Penrose triangle.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if it clears with copyright, I'm down for it.
I think it's just a it's not like an art piece.
Mm-hmm.
It's just explaining what it's actually it's super easy to draw too for being an optical illusion, which is rare.
Mm-hmm. All right, that works.
Yeah, I think that's it for what Pathfinder says that should be in part of an organization.
All right. So do you mind reading it down and let us know what each thing is?
Yeah, definitely. So the organization, we came up. The name was a twofold thing. It was the Tri Continuum, right, or the Delta Continuum,
Yeah,
or
the Delta or the Tri Continuum.
Okay. So the Tri Continuum or the Delta Continuum, whatever ends up going through,
Mm-hmm.
since we weren't able to settle on that, is a chaotic neutral organization with 20 to 50 members. Their goal is advancing society through adversity where things have become stagnant. Their scope is they are society extremists, and they are embracing chaos and the Fey Wild. Their anathema is denying progress no matter what form it comes in, and their tenets are the majority rules. And
also they're mostly gnomes, right? I think that
yeah,
should be
yeah,
added as
that's
a
what
note.
the scope is. Yeah, okay.
Because I can also
Yes.
see other characters, but this is part of gnome society, right?
Yeah, definitely. So, nice. The 2D Penrose triangle is not a copyrightable image.
Nice.
Woo!
Nice. All right.
So that's that.
All right. So we
We
got
have our organization.
either the Delta or Tri Continuum. The
Yes.
Delta Tries. The Delta Tries.
The
Not
Delta
their
Tries.
frat. The Delta
They're a
Tries.
frat now. Great.
It's a gnome frat. The Delta Try. Now I'm seeing all these gnome frat boys.
Yeah, right. That'll go over well. Woodward will know who they are. Awesome. I think that's organization then.
Awesome. Oh, we got PJ asking to go back and change the name to the Penrose Imperative.
Honestly, that's all good. We can throw that in there as a nod to the optical illusion, the Penrose Imperative. Great. Yeah, so we have the Penrose Imperative, a chaotic neutral group that has 20 to 50 members at any given time. Their goal is advancing society through adversity where things have become stagnant. Their scope is of gnomic society. They are extremists that embrace chaos and Fey Wild. The anathema is denying progress no matter what form it comes in. And their tenets are that the majority rules. And that is literally their only rule.
All right. Which
I
also
love it.
makes them very ineffectual and bureaucratic.
Yeah,
Bureaucracy.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right. I think we got a good one, and I'm looking at the time. It's time to bid you all adieu. Ian, where can we find you?
When I'm not on our Discord or here on Wednesday night at Advent of Legends, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bearded Scald. And you can also find me by the same name inside of our Discord, which I usually check. I'm pretty busy right now, so go ahead and at me when you can if you want any questions or talk about today's episode or anything else that goes on inside of our chat.
Mm-hmm. And I, as always, am Michael Powell. You can find me all over the internet on my social medias, which is at Mr. Kapow, that's MrKapao, or my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Michael Powell Does Stuff, because I do a lot of stuff, such as my YouTube channel, which is Fantastic Tales of Adventure. Also, just to let everybody know, we are going to be doing a charity stream this weekend, I believe on Saturday. At also I believe 2 p.m. We're going to have some awesome guest players, and we're going to get into a special one-shot where, if you've been watching Edge of Legend, which is on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's going to be the group of Lyrian Voss and his Viking mercenaries taking his
Yeah,
mother home to the north.
should be quite interesting ride.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. We're all going to be playing new one-shot characters, and I believe
Yep,
level 6 too. So
think
we get to
so
play
too.
high-level
Yeah,
characters.
right.
Yeah, so that's going
Very
to be
excited
fun.
about that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
At the table. See you guys.
Bye.